Small town, big crowd, and there you were in front of me. Small talk, big thoughts, all we wanted was to escape. This sounds too small for dreams like this. Don't wanna settle down, don't wanna miss out on adventures, things we haven't seen. Take my hand and follow me. Baby, we're leaving at midnight. It's time for a change, let's get out of here. We'll never look back, this is our time. We're leaving at midnight, leaving at midnight. It's time for a change, let's get out of here. We'll never look back, this is our time. We're leaving at midnight, leaving at midnight. Hands up, such a rush. I love having you here with me. To dream big. Too small for dreams like this. Don't wanna settle down, don't wanna miss out on adventures, things we haven't seen. Take my hand and follow me. Baby, we're leaving midnight. It's time for a change, let's get out of here. We'll never look back, this is our time. We're leaving at midnight, leaving at midnight. Baby, we're leaving midnight. It's time for a change. Let's get out of here. We'll never look back. This is our time. We're leaving at midnight. Leaving at midnight. Oh, we're leaving at midnight. Leaving at midnight. Another broken plate, another called off date. We never seem to get it right. Another heart attack, words that we can't take back. We are the reason opposites attract. Once you slam the door on the second floor, I regret it all. When I think it through, I can't help the way I feel for you. You make me lose my mind like all the time. It still feels right. Stuck in an endless fight like every night. It still feels right. Even the words can't sing. I wanna change a thing, 'cause without you everything means nothing. You make me lose my mind like all the time. It still feels right. Sitting there by the phone, hoping you'll answer yours. Baby, let's talk until we're fine. You've been in bed for days, empty without me, you say. Can't you just magically turn up in mine? Then you knock on my door on the second floor, and I feel okay. We just made it through, and I love the way I feel for you. Baby, you make me lose my mind like all the time. It still feels right. Stuck in an endless fight like every night. It still feels right. Even the words can't sing. I wanna change a thing, 'cause without you everything means nothing. You make me lose my mind like all the time. It still feels right. Oh yeah. Still feels right. 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 Oh yeah. We never get it right, but somehow it feels right. We never get it right, but it still feels right. We never get it right, but somehow it feels right. That's how I feel about you. You make me lose my mind like all the time. It still feels right. Stuck in an endless fight like every night. It still feels right. Even though it's
Where do we go from? Where do we go from here? No one can save us from keeping clear. I don't wanna lose you, I don't wanna lose you now. 'Cause there is only one thing on my mind. Hey, 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 I just wanna see you on my new grave. Hey, 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 I just wanna see you on my new grave before you turn around and walk away. Hey, 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 I just wanna see you on my new grave. I can do my, I can do my, I can do my own thing. I can do my thing. I can do my, I can do my, I can do my own thing. I can do my, I can do my, I can do my, I can do my own thing. I can do my thing. I can do my, I can do my, I can do my own thing. I can do my thing. Losing track of time, losing track of myself.
Okay, hold on. There we go. Okay. Oh, what's going on, everybody? How are we doing today? Oh, my goodness. It's Tuesday. It's Taco Tuesday. And if that means anything to you, then you and I are in sync, right? Although I always say you don't have to wait for Tuesday for tacos. I always say that. That's kind of just my thing, but whatever. So there it is. That is how I like to look at it. Let me do a quick check here on my settings because I did make some changes at the last minute. I think we are good to go. I think we are all set. I got to say hello to Cynthia from Purgatory Paranormal of New York. She was here before I went live. And I was like, whoa, she is ready to rock and roll today. So I always go live on Tuesdays at 2. I also shared this over on the personal profile, which I never do. I really don't do that very often because, I mean, if you are one of my personal connections and you want to learn about streaming and live video and social media and marketing, then make sure you follow the business page or subscribe to the YouTube channel, one of those things, right? So, but today I just kind of thought, why not? Why don't I just share it over there and see what everybody's up to? So yeah, Cynthia says, first, yes, you were. And Dawn is here as well, watching. Laura, of course, she was like, hey, Taco Tuesday. So y'all know I love tacos. We had tacos last night though, actually. But I always say you don't have to wait until Tuesday to have tacos. That's just kind of my thing. But it is what it is. So here is the deal. Today is a live Q&A day. So a lot of times on Tuesdays, if you are watching from that personal profile or kind of hanging out and new, definitely say this is your first time catching me live. Let me know that in the comments. I would love to know. But so I normally go live every single Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern. Sometimes I tweak that up a little bit, but definitely make sure that you subscribe, which is going to ensure, oops, no, we don't want that one. That's going to ensure that you actually don't miss a beat. So make sure that you are actually subscribed. Let me try that again. Let me try one of my fun little buttons here. There it is. Click subscribe so that you don't miss a beat, especially over on YouTube. Click that notification bell so you get notified. So, but yeah, Tuesdays at 2:00 is when I go live. And then, but I also go live every once in a while. I just go live to hang out and do stuff and show stuff and teach things. But this is definitely what we do. But today we're doing live Q&A. So normally I'll come on, I'll have a little bit of a like training or something, a topic. But this week we haven't done one of these in a while where I just basically was like, what do you guys want to talk about? What's up? What's new in your world? Where are you stuck? What do you need help with? Share a new win with me. For example, Cynthia at Purgatory Paranormal of New York, I really would love to know, what have you been up to lately, right? I know you've actually been doing some things, but let us know what you've been up to for sure. So Susan's here. Susan, we haven't seen you for so long. How have you been, sister? She says, I love the why not approach. Trusting our intuitive hits can be powerful. There you go, right? There you go. I love it. So got to get after it. Just get after the day. So how are you guys doing? I have a few things I wanted to share with you, but in the meantime, if you have questions around marketing or social media, live video, new features of StreamYard, anything else, let me know because this is powered by StreamYard. I'm using the StreamYard application to stream to you today. And if any of you are connected with me on LinkedIn, you saw that I posted a LinkedIn update. I have been working with StreamYard for a while, actually, helping them create content on their YouTube channel. I also host some of their live shows over on their channels where I help people with things. And one of the shows that we do is called Ask StreamYard. It's every Tuesday. And then I do a show with Julie Riley that's called Office Hours, where we just answer questions. But it's been a lot of fun. It's been great. But I also consult with them and I kind of help them with just content strategy as a user, but also as somebody who helps live video streamers and people who are marketing themselves. So I'm able to kind of give them insights about, hey, these are the questions I get asked all the time. So maybe we should create content around this, that, or this. And so that's been a lot of fun helping them. But I've also been kind of like they have this amazing event coming up with this amazing co-EMC. I mean, you might know her. Her name's Mel. But I like helping with also just ideas about how they can expand their partner network, but also how can they support those partners so that those partners can advocate. Brand ambassadorship essentially is what it is. And so I kind of am taking on a project with them where I'm going to be helping them really just kind of structure that, line it up, but also just get more and more people to be brand ambassadors with the StreamYard product. And I'm super excited about it. So really, really, really excited about it. Having a lot of fun. But speaking of that event, I wanted to make sure that I let you guys know this event is Thursday and it is totally free. So if you are looking to learn from some absolutely incredible people, thought leaders, amazing people. Let me share my screen so you guys can see the lineup of these speakers. It's absolutely insane. So check this out. Here's what we've got going on. So again, it's Thursday. Join me. I am actually the co-host of this event. I am EMCing this event. But check this out. Check out this lineup of people. Gary Vaynerchuk is the keynote speaker. I cannot wait to introduce Gary. It's going to be absolutely phenomenal. He's going to have an awesome presentation, and then we're going to do a live Q&A. So I'm actually going to take questions from the audience and also some questions of my own and ask him some questions. But these speakers are absolutely incredible. We've got awesome speakers lined up. My friend Tiffany Lee Bymaster, Coach Glitter. Many of you may know her. She is going to be doing an awesome presentation around branding. We've got Megan Finnerty and Evan Roberts from USA Today. They're going to be sharing how they embraced live video last year to help people with storytelling. They're with USA Today. And so that's going to be awesome. And then Troy Sandage and Julie Riley are going to talk about community building and how live video can support your community building. And then for the first time ever, they actually are also going to have speakers on a Portuguese stage and then on a Spanish stage. And they're going to be talking about those same topics. And so this is actually super great. I'm pretty sure no one in my audience will be joining those stages per se, but I thought I wanted to showcase that because I just think it's absolutely incredible that they're trying to make sure that they are inclusive, right? And so they're looking for these speakers. So if you actually know someone who's a Spanish or Portuguese presenter, send me a DM because they're looking to build that up a little bit more. But these are the sessions. It's going to be absolutely fantastic, like I said. So go to this site here. You can go to hoppin.com events SY level up. I will put that in the comments. If you're not already registered, definitely make sure you get registered. I want to see you in those comments. Gosh, I gotta say, I'm pretty excited about it, but I'm a little nervous as well. So I would love to see some familiar faces there for sure. It's a free event, right? And so it's a great way to learn. It's also not too long. I know that sounds crazy, but some of these virtual events are like 3 days, 2 full days. And it's like, I mean, I am all about going to an event in person for 3 days, but to sit at my computer for 3 days, I struggle with that. And so I like how they're trying to make these events, these virtual summits actually, doable and not too long because sitting at a computer like that can be a little bit too long. Susan says, Thursday's event looks awesome. I can't wait. I'm so excited. I'm so honored to be the co-EMC of this event and introducing these amazing presenters and facilitating the Q&As for that English main stage. So pretty excited about it. Hopefully, like I said, I'll see some familiar faces in the comments. Peter George is here. Peter, we haven't seen you in a while, my friend. Hopefully you're doing well. I know that it's like 4 a.m. there in Australia. So hopefully you're doing well. And it's good to see you back in the comments here live with us today. So, and then we got Mac, Derek McLean in the house. Mac, we haven't seen you in a while live with us. Hopefully you're doing well as well. Today, we are doing live Q&A. So if you guys have questions or thoughts or insights about what's going on in the world of marketing, social media, live video, let me know. Let me know your thoughts. If you've got a question, put a Q in front of that question so I can find it nice and easily. So yes. Okay, what other housekeeping do I have? Oh, I have another piece of housekeeping. I've been talking about this for a while. Yes. So first things first, it is time for the next rendition of my live video bootcamp. So definitely, if you are wanting to learn how to embrace live video, make it your thing, ditch the overwhelm, get rid of being scared, get rid of being fearful, learning how to make live video work for you, your business, your organization, whatever it is, then my live video bootcamp is probably something that I would like for you to consider. So I wanted to let you know that you can absolutely get on the wait list for this. So all you have to do is go to melaniediane.com/waitlist, and then you will actually get onto an exclusive list that is going to get an exclusive invite to this program. It's obviously not an obligation. It's not gimmicky. It's just an opportunity for you. And so I wanted to make sure that you all knew that so that you could get on that wait list if it's something that you might want to consider. Again, joining this waitlist isn't signing up for the bootcamp. It's just simply you saying, hey, I'm interested. I'm intrigued. I'd like to learn more. Let me know what's going on. I will tell you that the doors open on next Tuesday. Enrollment does open next Tuesday. So if you're excited about this, looking forward to this, then definitely get on that wait list so that you get that exclusive invite with a very exclusive opportunity that no one else is going to get other than those on the wait list. So I just put that link in the comments. Definitely would like for you guys to look at that, join it, consider it. And let me know if you're excited about that. So I wanted to share that with you guys too. I'm really excited. I've done this boot camp. This is going to be the 4th time I've done this boot camp. And I will tell you that every time I do it, I get more and more excited about it. I'm really excited about it this time because I'm going to make a couple of tweaks to it about how we get into action. So pretty excited. You guys will learn more about that next week. Of course, I will definitely be talking about it next Tuesday, but get on that wait list if it's something that you're interested in and that you're intrigued about, because I would love to be able to give you that very exclusive offer and invite into that bootcamp. So I wanted to let you guys know that is coming. It's been busy. Here's the thing. I don't know if anybody else has ever gone through this before. I usually am really good at not putting too much on my plate, meaning like knowing to say, oh, I got to say no to that opportunity because this is going to be going on at that time. I've made those mistakes in my career as an entrepreneur. I made those mistakes before I was an entrepreneur, but I've gotten a lot better about saying no, or at least organizing when I do certain things, because I've been in business since 2014, which sounds like a million years ago. I can't believe it's been that long. And my business has evolved over time. But I've definitely learned about certain types of seasons, both in my business, but also just in my personal life, like when I want to be busy, when I can be busy, when I get a little overwhelmed. This year, I will say this fall, this late summer, this fall, I don't know. I guess I just like forgot everything I've learned because I put a lot of crap on my plate for this. I've got obviously the StreamYard stuff. I've also got this awesome summit that I'm going to be co-hosting this Thursday. I've got my own boot camp that I am opening enrollment for. And then I'm also going to be having another awesome opportunity working with Amy Porterfield with her Digital Course Academy. There will be more about that to come. So if you are one of those people that's kind of considered or thought about creating an online course business, I'm actually going to be able to help you with that and offer some awesome stuff for you too. So if that is something that is intriguing to you right now, I'd like for you to just send me a DM because I would like to hear a little bit more about what your thoughts are on that. But so I just have so much going on and it's like kind of stupid, actually. It's really, really crazy. Julie Riley is here. Julie, I was just talking about you. Julie. I was saying, one, that we have that awesome show, Office Hours, the StreamYard Office Hours that we do inside the StreamYard community. So you got to join the community to be a part of that. But also Julie is one of our presenters on Thursday. She's going to talk about building community, which I know a lot of you are interested in. I know so many people in my audience want to learn about building community, pros and cons, best practices about community. Some of you are part of my amazing community, DIY marketing with I keep slurring that, DIY marketing with Melanie. And you guys, Julie she's a community manager for StreamYard, and she's got all kinds of experience in community management, and she's going to be sharing all kinds of stuff with us on Thursday as well. So Julie, thanks for watching. It's going to be so fun. And I can't wait to take a nap in October. No, in like November, probably. So yeah, it's going to be kind of ridiculous. But Julie, it is going to be a blast on Thursday. So definitely everybody, as I said, go up in the comments. The link to sign up for that event for Thursday is up in the comments. So I definitely want to see you guys there for sure. So I'm pretty excited about everything that's going on, but I'm like, just, hey, I'll sleep in November. I'll get some sleep in November. Maybe do all those things that I want to do in November. But it's interesting because I will say that even when you get crazy busy, you always have to leave some time for yourself in there. I don't lose touch with that, but my brain doesn't shut off. And so when I got all these things going on, and I don't know if anybody else can relate, let me know if you can in the comments, but my brain doesn't shut off. And so I don't sleep. Well, I try to sleep, but I dream about work. I dream things. I literally last night was dreaming about like my scripts and our flow, our run of show for Thursday in my dreams. Like I'm working in my dreams. I'm working in my sleep. So it's kind of crazy. So it's really ridiculous. But all right, let me see here. Let me check on you guys real quick. Peter, I am sorry to hear that you've been well. I'm glad that you're here. I know that you have been dealing with some health things, but it would be, let's all send a quick prayer for Peter. Hopefully he gets to feeling better and can get back to creating content and doing all the great things. But hang in there, Peter. We are all cheering you on, my friend, cheering you on over there in Australia. Get some rest. It is early in the morning in Australia. Derek's been working on his golf game, sounds like. He says he's been MIA working on breaking 90 on the golf course. Derek, I played your favorite course the other day, actually. I played Bear Slide with one of my, is it Bear Slide? Yeah, Bear Slide with one of my friends down there. Pretty fun day, but it was hot. You guys, it's been crazy hot here in Indiana. So, all right, let me see here. Oh, we got Melody is here. You guys, this is Melody. It's Bling Auntie, right? Is it Bling Auntie? Are you Bling Auntie? I feel like you're Bling Auntie. I got to get everybody's names. I like to write everyone's names down from their channel things. So like, for example, I always give Cynthia as my example, Purgatory Paranormal of New York. But when you go live all the time and you go live consistently, like I'm always preaching that you should do, you get to know your audience and you get to know the YouTube people and what they do, right? Like I know Peter has a hobby. He loves darts. He's got a cool dart channel, right? And Bling Auntie, I think, is Melody. Yes. Whew, I was going to be sweating. I was going to be stressing over here if I got that wrong. But here's the journey that's beautiful when you go live all the time is people find you, they talk to you, you hang out with them. It's two-way communication live. And then you can invite them into your world. And so Melody just recently joined my Facebook community. So that's how I knew that's who that was, like literally today, I believe. And so it's exciting to get to know my audience. I like to get to know who you are, what you do, what you're about, where you're struggling, where I can help you, where I can try to find help for you when it comes to your business and all those things. So speaking of, why don't y'all, if you're not in there, make sure you come join the Facebook group. DIY Marketing with Melanie is all you need to search and you will find it up in the Facebook groups. And it's free. Just answer the questions and come in there and then come hang out with us. It's good. It's good stuff. So does anyone have any questions? I mean, we can just sit and hang out too. We can, but I do want you to know that, hey, live Q&A. It's the whole point. Let's answer some questions. But Derek says, I love seeing your biz evolve and grow. Thank you, Derek. That's actually super sweet. I've known Derek for a long time. Derek is one of my, he's a really smart marketer, like as well, right? And so it's funny because Derek was the first person who I saw use live video on Facebook of the people I knew. Derek tried it early. He got access to it pretty early. He was trying it and he just kind of went all in with it. And I was like, this is so cool. So then I started going live. So it's funny how Derek is here because now here I am a million years later, teaching people how to do live videos and how to grow their business with live videos and how to build live video strategies so that they can reach their goals in their business, reach their goals in their community, reach their goals in their audience growth and all those things. And that's what my boot camp is all about. But it's kind of funny because literally Derek was like half the reason I was like, I saw him do it and I was like, okay, this is cool. This is cool. And he kind of demystified it for us. He was like, okay. He literally was like, when it was your phone and that's how you had to go live, he's like, all right, I see some buttons here. Like, okay, this is kind of cool. Like he literally had no idea what he was doing. And so then I kind of had a little bit of I kind of know because I saw Derek do it and he kind of explained a few things. And then I started going live. So it's kind of funny. So it's good to see you, Derek. And I always appreciate your support. Definitely always appreciate it. So Julie, 102 in Wichita. Yikes. That's nobody needs that. Man, that is nuts. That's getting in the way of everything fun. But it's been 92, 94 here, I think is supposed to be today. But the humidity is what we get, what screws us over here. So, okay, here we go. Peter says, we've changed it to the armchair athlete doing golf, Aussie football, NFL, NBA, LPGA. Fun. Way fun. So the armchair athlete, that is what Peter's channel is over on YouTube. So definitely go check that out. Go check out Peter's channel for sure. Melody says, you nailed it through the heart with this reminder. Just recovering from a tidal wave of too much on my plate syndrome, like a hangover. It seriously feels that way. There are days where, I don't know if anybody else deals with this. I actually dealt with this last Friday morning, where you just you cannot start anything because your mind is in 80,000 places and everything all of your efforts feel watered down. And when that happens to me, that is when I know okay, you got to slow your roll. You got to take a step back. You got to figure some stuff out. The thing is that it gets challenging when you've already made prior commitments and you can't back down. I will tell you guys, this is what I decided to do. I was going to open enrollment to my boot camp. The original plan all along, starting 2 months ago, was to open enrollment to my boot camp today. And I was kind of stressing the last 2 weeks. I was like, oh my gosh, I have these things to get ready to, because opening enrollment is not just hey, open enrollment, give me all your money. I'm going to blow your mind. No, it's there's stuff that goes to it. I want to do this properly. I want to be a smart business person. I want to do you the right job by giving you all the right information so you know whether this is a good program for you. You got to set up all the stuff. You got to set up the email. There's a lot to it. Okay. Launching. You can learn about that stuff here in a couple weeks after I launch. We'll talk about it. And if it's something you're interested in doing, having programs like this too, then we're going to talk, because again, I'm working with Amy this fall with her Digital Course Academy, and I'm partnering with her, and it's going to be ridiculously awesome. So if that's something intriguing to you, stay tuned. It's coming. Now, back to it. I had to make a decision. I was I'm not going to be able to do all these things well enough. Notice I said well enough. I didn't say perfect or great or exceptional. I said well enough, because sometimes when we have these standards for ourselves, when it comes to what we're doing, sometimes we got to lower that standard a little bit, right? But then there becomes that gray area of, well, what's good enough? And this can be adjustable. Perfection and absolutely amazing, we can strive for those things. And there are times where we're able to create content or do things in our businesses or even in our life where we can hit that. But then there's times when we got to tell ourselves, we got to give ourselves that grace. We got to tell ourselves, I just can't quite do that this time. And so I was kind of here. I'm always here. Unfortunately, it's kind of my downfall. And I'm really good at sometimes bringing myself here. But this time I had to go, okay, if I'm not careful, I'm going to be way down here. So I had to decide what is going to be how can I do this well enough? And I felt like I was to a point where I was at risk, where I wasn't going to be doing any of these things well enough. And so I had to decide, okay, something's got to give so I can bump these things up to get to this standard that I'm okay with. And so what happened is I looked at everything on my plate, looked at everything going on, looked at my schedule. There's certain things that cannot move. For example, introducing Gary Vaynerchuk on Thursday. I can't be moving that, right? That's not even my event. That's I got to make sure I have the capacity there, the energy, all the stuff that I need to make sure I put into place to be able to co-host that event with Dana from StreamYard and do a really exceptional job. And so what else needed to fall? Well, the thing that could move was my own program. I'm not very good at saying, oh, I'm going to do this and then kind of like moving it. But I decided, you know what? Something's got to give. And so I went ahead and decided I'm not going to open my enrollment on Tuesday. I'm going to open my enrollment the following Tuesday. Gives me a little bit of room to breathe, gives me a little bit of room to slow down, make sure I'm not making any silly rush decisions. And that's what I did. So, Melody, I would say when we get into those seasons, if you are like me and you feel like you just hit a wall of like, you can't do anything right, you can't do anything well, you have no energy, you don't have the motivation, it's probably because you're overwhelmed. And overwhelm is a state we can get out of, but you have to take action to get out of it. You can't just sit and wait for the overwhelming feeling to go away. And so I just decided, I rearranged some things. I also decided I needed to take a break. I needed to literally step away from everything for the day. I already had plans to play golf with my friend on Friday afternoon, but I was like, all right, I'm going to get these few tests done that have to get done. And then I'm done early. I'm quitting a little bit earlier and I'm just going to step away. And I just came into everything fresh on Sunday night. I was like, okay, I kind of know what I'm going to do. And it has felt so much better, honestly. I mean, it's like Tuesday and I feel like it's Thursday because I've gotten a lot done and I just feel really good. The energy is coming back. So definitely, that's my 2 cents on what to do, right? Julie says, I just went through explaining this to my 11-year-old last night when he missed a tournament he wanted to be a part of. We had to teach him that some things have to give and adjust when you take on all the things. Yeah, life lessons, right? I mean, I still struggle with that. I mean, I'm going to be 41 years old this October, and I still struggle with FOMO or wanting to be all the places at all the times. And that can just, we're not doing ourselves any good when we try to do that. So I love that you're talking to your 11-year-old about that. That's great advice. Good stuff, Julie, for sure. So, all right. Okay. Peter's got a question I'm going to get to in a second. If anyone else has any questions, let's hear it. I want to know what questions you have. Susan says, thank you for sharing the reality of being an entrepreneur and also for modeling how to infuse our business with self-care. So important. It's here's the thing. You can like go on Instagram or anywhere and you can like see all those funny charts or funny memes about entrepreneurship. And they are all so true. I mean, it's real. Like we don't want it to be real. We also kind of wish that it wasn't the reality of being a business owner, but it's freaking hard. Like it's hard. It is hard. Even when you are super successful and you're hitting all your goals and you're making all the money, it's still really, really, really hard. I was just listening to Jasmine Starr's podcast, she's awesome. I love Jasmine. She's an amazing person, an amazing, entrepreneur, and she teaches people about social media too. And on her podcast, she was kind of talking about like the days when she just struggles, like the days where she's just like, she can't do it. Right. Or she's just stuck, or she's like, it's a tough day because she's got to be a mom and a wife and an entrepreneur and a this and a that and all. And she is a very successful entrepreneur. And Gary Vaynerchuk, I saw something on that he put out not that long ago where he was talking about, of the Monday through Fridays, there's 250 days a year. And he's like, 8 to, I forget what he said. I can't quote him exactly, but he basically was saying there are like plenty of days where he is like, F it. I don't feel it today. Forget it. And he's like, I'm out. Like mental health day, taking a day off. So no matter how successful, that feeling's never going to go away. And I think that as entrepreneurs, we have to embrace that we are going to always be overwhelmed. Or as I always say, you're never going to feel caught up. It's just a matter of being less behind. And because there's always going to be something, there's always going to be a vision in front of the project you're working on now. And if there isn't, then honestly, as an entrepreneur, that's bad. So you always have to have a vision in front of what you're working on now. So it takes discipline to work on the things that are important today so that you can work on the fun things tomorrow, all that stuff. So it's hard. And you don't really, I remember when I started my business in 2014, I got all these messages from people and they were like, some people were like, oh my God, it's so cool. It's so awesome. Some people were like, oh, that's really great. Really excited to support you. Good luck. And then there was the camp of people that were like, good luck. You'll work harder than you've ever worked in your life. Hopefully you make it 6 months. And they meant well. I always say this, those people meant well, but they were like, they had experienced it. And, Is it the thing you should tell somebody who's starting a business? Not necessarily. There's a way to do it. But I think what those people were sharing was that they were sharing what I already know, what I know now. And you can hear all along, like, hey, it's going to be hard. There's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be days where you feel like you've got it all figured out. Days where you just have no freaking clue what you're doing. Then there's going to be days where you know what you should be doing, but you're still not doing it. You don't really know why. You want to get out of the rut, all the things, right? You can hear all that and it can be fine, but like you really don't truly feel it until you go through it. And here's the thing, I've been in that plenty of times, and I now understand, like, I don't think that's ever going to go away. You're always going to be fighting some sort of struggle as an entrepreneur, right? There's going to be days where it's going to be like you're on cloud nine, things are flowing, you're in the zone, you got it all figured out, things are working, it's going great, you're hitting your goals. And there will be a hiccup. There's always going to be some sort of hiccup. And I think the more you go through it and the more you continue to push through it all, and the more you continue to take action when you're afraid and all those things, the more you do that, the more you're actually going to keep going. And the more you'll learn that all you have to do is do that and you'll keep going. And so I do think that that is actually a huge, huge, huge piece of all of it. I really do think that when we can experience it, go through those ruts, come out of those ruts, then we now know we're good to go, right? We now know we're good to go. The echo went away. Well, thank God the echo went away, because I don't know what's going on. Something's going on with this setup, with the XLR microphone and the Focusrite and the Cloud Lifter. I don't know what it is, and the Wavelength software, but I don't know. I've been having some issues with it. So that's a little disappointing. But it is what it is, I guess. We got to just keep going, right? But thanks for letting me know. I'm glad the echo went away, though, right? Oh, sorry, everybody, for the echo. It's always annoying, isn't it? Okay. Charlotte Agent, what is up? Thank you. Glad that you think I always give good advice. I try. I really do try. With the whole it's going to be hard thing, mindset can play a huge part in shifting how tough it is. We can cry through it or play through it. I choose to play. I love that. We can cry through it or we can play through it. That's actually awesome, Susan. I appreciate you sharing that. Okay. Poor Peter has a question. Is there an easy way to bring in multiple overlays for a show, but not in the branding section of StreamYard? Well, my question would be this, Peter, why not? What's wrong with the branding section? So in StreamYard, that is where you would bring your overlays in. So I've actually started this new trick. Let me try this. Let me do this. I'm going to pull this one up. Oops. Yeah. Actually, I'll pull this one up because I really do have a new podcast episode that I was going to tell you guys about. Now, I'm going to take a screenshot and then I'm going to share that. Oops, hold on. I'm finding a different way to do these StreamYard demos, or at least to show you what the heck I'm talking about. Oh, man. But I got to remember to make a nice face when I do the screenshot. All right. So I'm going to take a screenshot of the studio so you guys can all see what Peter's talking about. Bring it over here. Have it open. And then I'm going to share my screen like this. Okay, let me do this. Let me take the overlay down now. All right, so what Peter's referring to is, let me actually undisplay his comment. So what Peter's referring to is in the brand section. So in StreamYard, you have folders. Oops, I wish that was here. I'll do this. You have these tabs. And right now, the way that StreamYard's laid out is you click on these different tabs and it pulls up different things. And the brand tab is where we upload our overlays. So when I have those overlays I show you guys, that's where they go. Then you can actually rename them and you can rearrange them now. That's actually something really awesome that just came out inside StreamYard, is that it used to be they were displayed in the order you upload them, but now you can actually move them around. I always recommend that you move them around and put them in an order that makes sense with your stream and how you're going to actually be displaying them. So, okay, sorry. I'm reading your comments about the echo. Okay. So this is where they go. They're right now, there's no other place to put them. But I would be curious to know, Peter, why you don't, or why you're wanting to look for a different place to put them. What are you looking for to accomplish there? Because he says, is there an easy way to bring in multiple overlays for a show, but not in the branding section? One thing I will tell you guys, up here at the top where it says weekly show, see that? Inside your StreamYard, it's funny because my really good friend, Crystal Prophet, and y'all, if you've been around here, you know Crystal. I was actually popped into her show today and I was doing a demo and she's like, wait, what is that? Like she never even realized that that was there. You can create different brand folders for different shows. So if you have one show that is, a hobby show that you do, and you have certain overlays for that show, but then you have another show that's maybe like more of a motivational show and you have different overlays there, then you can actually have different overlays in each of these show types. So definitely would be something to do. The reason is that each show will have different results each week. Results. So Peter, you can actually do what I was just describing. Maybe what you want to do instead is if you have different shows, you could do a different week and do a different brand. And then you have different overlays for each one. And then that way you're saving them if that's what you're trying to do. So right now, there's no other place to put them other than in the brand tab. But he says sports show. So sports show, different sports each week. Right. So then Peter, what I would recommend is you create a different folder for each sport. So you might have a football show, right? And then you might have an LPGA show. Well, then up here, use this right here. Go up here. When you're in the studio, you'll click on that and it'll say add folder. When you do that, you can actually change the colors. You can change everything. Have different overlays for each different show type. So that's probably what you want to do. So for example, I'm in my StreamYard studio right now, and I'm going to go up and I'm going to change the brand. So I'm going to click a different brand. I'm actually going to click this brand right here, demo brand. And look what just happened. The colors automatically changed as soon as I changed brands. I have a whole different set of calls to action in here, different overlays. And these are just demos. These are for demo purposes, right? There you go. So maybe that's what you want to consider is actually set up different brand folders and for your different show types for your different sports. That's what I would recommend you probably do. So, but that's a great question. What is up, Jaden0428, joining us live, tuning in. I can't believe, so I'm really bummed that I'm coming and going with the echo. I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know why that's happening. We will look into that. Let me check one thing real fast. Nope, those are all muted. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. I wish I knew. That's annoying though. If we're going to be echoing, probably means that I can't be taking any risks for Thursday, and I'm probably going to be using the Elgato Wave 3 microphone instead of this one because it seems like this one is the one that seems to be suspect. Every once in a while, I have issues with it. And that shouldn't be the case because I spent plenty of money on it, but sometimes that's what happens. So it is what it is, I guess. Okay, so I did mention earlier the podcast. So I do have a new podcast episode that is up on the podcast. If you didn't know, I have a podcast. It's called the DIY Marketing School with Melanie Diane Howe. You can just actually look for my name in your podcast app and it should come up, no problem. But yeah, I just put a new episode out. I've got another new episode coming out this week. So another place for you to kind of hang out with me and learn from me. It's interesting about the podcast because I kind of, again, back to what we were talking about earlier, when it comes to you can only do so much, right? The podcast was one of those things where I was like, I got to bring that one back so that I can maintain what I want to do with my live show and some other things. And, but I got back to releasing some episodes. And what was really interesting, and this has happened before, I would say that I get more like personal feedback on the podcast than I do anything else that I do. And what I mean by personal feedback is a like personal direct message or an email or some sort of remark where someone has reached out to me to let me know how much they appreciate the podcast or how much it's helped them or, oh, so glad you're back to the podcast, releasing episodes, right? Getting a lot of that. And it's interesting. I was like, man, what is it about the podcast? I have always said, as much as I love live video, and you all know that that's going to be my number one piece of content because I do think you can showcase so much with live videos, but I do think that podcast episodes and podcasts like audio is huge. And I think it's because when people are listening to a podcast, they tend to be they just tend to be a little bit more focused. Even if they're multitasking, there's just something about listening to the audio. There are no distractions with backgrounds or lights or cameras or anything. It's just you and their voice, right? And and I know that for me, when I consume content, I tend to consume podcasts when I'm walking, when I'm getting ready in the morning, when I'm in the car. And I'm not really multitasking. I mean, I am because I'm like walking or doing something else, but I am in a different mindset. I'm in a different zone of like consumption versus when I watch videos, I tend to tune in, tune out, or watch for a little bit, pause it, go do something else, come back, or I'm multitasking. And I think that there's that. I definitely think that that's a piece of why people reach out about the podcast, because things really sink in. But at the same time, I get DMs sometimes from people about my live show. I just got a DM from a woman who was talking about how she's learned live, she's using StreamYard because of me, and she's been able to do all these amazing things. And like she has these amazing results. And I'm hoping to showcase her story for you guys and to help share some of what she's done and been able to do with live video. And that was all through the videos. Now she also listens to the podcast, but it's just kind of interesting. Yeah. Peter says they want to listen when it's convenient for them. Podcasts allow that. This is true. Now, one could say, well, they can listen to the replay of a video, right? But there's just something about a podcast. And I think that the experience of it is really, really key. So if you guys are, thinking about podcasting or, entertaining that at all, Crystal is my girl. She will help you do that. So she's got a live video challenge or live challenge going on right now for podcasting. So go over to Crystal Profit's stuff, find her, because she's doing a 5-day challenge right now about podcasting. And it's pretty awesome, I have to say. So Peter, the mic that I'm using is the Shure MV7. This is the Shure microphone that is XLR, but it also has the option of being USB. I am using XLR, and I'm using a cloud lifter and the Focusrite Scarlett as my interface. And but I'm also using the WaveLink audio app. And I will tell y'all, ever since they updated this app, I've been having funky issues. I think it's the app. I feel like WaveLink, that's the WaveLink app that's causing the problems. So I'm probably going to do some tests and not use the WaveLink app and see what happens as far as the audio and making sure we don't have any problems with it. But I haven't had any issues when I record podcasts. I only have issues when I go live. And when I go live, I'm using that WaveLink app. It's probably one of those things for sure. Okay. Farmer Brad, what is up, Farmer Brad? Farmer Brad's in my DIY group, does some pretty cool stuff. Do you use Google Optimize tool? No, I do not use Google Optimize tool. In fact, let's look up what the heck. I've heard of it before, but everybody calls things different things. So I want to make sure it's what I think it is. Google Optimize. It's a Google Analytics tool. That is not what I thought it was. So I am not an analytics person as far as Google Analytics goes. I think it is very confusing, and I usually just have one of my analytics friends help me when I need it. But yeah, definitely not an area. Now, from an interesting standpoint with videos, there's a lot of tools out there actually right now. TubeBuddy is one. That's pretty awesome. There's another one. Oh, what's the other one called? It's really popular. Those are actually really great for videos. They help you with keywords and descriptions and optimizing your videos. But yeah, he says I'm going to use it for website personalization. Awesome. Farmer Brad, you have to report back to us and let us know how that's going. Oh, Peter's in the house. vidIQ. Thank you. That is actually it. vidIQ. So there's TubeBuddy and then there's vidIQ. Thank you, Peter. That are very popular tools that anyone should look into if they're making YouTube videos. Peter or Billy, what's up, dude? Billy's got a podcast, actually. Pretty good one. So check it out. What is it called? Millennial something. Shoot. I forget. But Billy's got a podcast. He does it with a co-host. He says, what are some good tips for background design? Mine looks terrible and I want it to look professional. Billy, it does not look terrible. I think if I recall, it's just fairly basic, which is actually not a bad thing. So here's the thing about backgrounds. People, your background should fit you and your personality, right? Some backgrounds are clean and decor, like my friend Crystal. Hers is like, she has a, kind of a gray wall, but she has like some bookshelves and some things that fit her personality kind of in on these little shelves, but there's not a lot there. Um, some people like me, I need to take this overlay down. I apologize. Take that down. I have, colors and lights and things and lava lamps in my background. Those are just fun things for me. I like color. I like gradients. I love the 80s. I love like those bright colors. And I love how design is kind of falling into this interesting trend right now of gradients. And here's the thing, it's not going to stay because trendy designs never stay. But while I can use gradients and bright lights and stuff in my stuff, I'm gonna because I can and I want to. But I used to have a fairly clean and simple look. In fact, your look can change. I think sometimes busy can be a little challenging because it will be distracting. But think about what your content's about. If your content, for example, is about art and you're painting and you have all these things, right? Then you might have a bunch of stuff in the background because that sort of fits like the interesting aspect of what you do and what you talk about. Billy does he does financial advice and things like that in his live streams. Billy, yours is probably it needs to fit your personality, but like it's probably going to be on that fairly, I don't know, not flashy is what I guess I'll use, because I've also you've been in our Facebook group long enough. And I've seen some of your content, you love fitness and you're like young and you've got a great personality, but you're not I wouldn't call you like a flashy personality, right? Again, your background should fit you and it should fit your content as well, right? So like if I were coming on here and I was going to talk about, something really serious, like if I were an attorney and my job was to help people create their wills, I'm probably not going to have like a bunch of cartoons and like just, I don't know. You got to be like, it's got to fit. Maybe you could do that. I mean, you can do anything. You can do whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. That's the key, actually. And that is actually my answer is you can actually do whatever the heck you want. But as best practices go, sometimes just let it fit your personality, make sure it's on brand, and maybe don't get too crazy with it. That's what I'd say. Billy, terrible. It says it looks terrible. I don't think it looks terrible. This is actually funny. And I do know people that have lots of stuff in their background because that is their personality. They have like a ton of toys on the shelf and like they're into Star Wars and they have all these things. And they actually do have games. Like they'll have a thing and it will move. And they'll be like, the game is who can find the whatever, right? So he says you could always go with a hoarder's background and then make it an I Spy game. That actually could be a lot of fun. Remember when I was like saying, I can't believe nobody's commented on it. Nobody's noticed any changes. And then finally like 2 or 3 people commented and they're like the second lava lamp. They finally chimed in. So I do think it is fun to have fun with your background and let your audience kind of be a part of it, right? I'll buy a will from Garfield. Yeah, there you go. So here's the thing. Oh, what's up, Sonia? Sonia's here. Hello, Sonia, joining us live. Today was a live Q&A show, but we did a lot of chatter. I did a lot of chatter. Didn't have a lot of questions, which is funny because I was wanting to do this and I haven't done it for a while, which is basically where I don't come with a topic. So I've done live Q&As for a really long time. And I've had some live Q&As where nobody really showed up with any questions. And I've had some live Q&As where like I was at an hour and a half and I was like, I'm so sorry I didn't get to all your questions. I have to go. And so the thing I will say, if you're thinking about live Q&As, the thing I will say is that one of the when I see the most success in my live Q&As is if I have a specific topic that I either bring up and say, ask me about X, or I do a training or I come to the table with something to share with you or to teach you, and then that prompts questions. So if you have a show, if you have things and you're wanting to do that live Q&A, so Billy, for example, I could see you doing this, come to the table with a very specific topic or a very specific financial strategy or something, and then let that be the topic to prompt those Q&As, those questions. That always helps because here's the thing: you guys are tired, you guys are busy, you guys are like all over the place, right? You're like, I don't know what to ask today. But if I were to give you a specific topic, then you'd know what to ask. So Billy's asking live video questions because that's how he learned, that's how he discovered me. Many of you, like Laura, have been around for a long time where, I used to teach all kinds of stuff. I've talked about anything marketing and social media, and I've kind of niched into live video. So Billy knows me for live video. So he naturally thinks of me for his live video questions. Or does that make sense? Okay. He has a question. How about camera distance from the background wall? Is that a thing? Does it matter? Yeah, it does. So here's the thing. Different cameras are going to have different effects. My camera has a special lens on it that has a very low f-stop, which blurs the background. But if I were really close to my wall, we wouldn't get that effect. So I am about 5 feet from my wall. If I were even further away, like I'm actually wanting to buy a tripod where I can spin my camera to do these types of things. But if I turn my camera and I were to have myself in focus and I would be over here, you would see even more blur in the background because the wall is further away. So anything further away is going to be blurred out. Same thing if I put my finger, get my hand up here, you'll notice, watch the picture. Watch this picture when I focus on my hand. See how it got even blurrier? That's because I'm close to the camera. The same thing happens if I get closer to the camera. So I stay in focus because I have an autofocus camera, and look how blurry the background is. So here's what makes the effect. If you have a zoom lens, you're using your phone. So you're not going to be able to do any of this stuff. But that's why I'm saying the camera matters, right? If you have a camera where you have these special effects, then that background is going to matter. On an iPhone or a standard webcam, it's probably not going to matter. It's going to basically put everything in focus. And so you're not going to get that blurred effect. So if you're looking for the blur effect, then yes, the distance matters, the lens matters, where you are with the camera matters. But ideally, what you want to be able to do is just frame yourself, Billy. Now, on a webcam, if you're using your iPhone as a webcam, as you say you are in the comment, you aren't going to be able to do any zoom. There's no zoom with that feature. That is an iPhone limitation, okay? If that's the case, you're going to want to be in frame. That's what you're focused on. So you're not going to want to be like way back here, probably where your whole body is, unless you want your whole body in focus, right? But instead, you might be close up if you just want to be like here, which is probably what you want to be, right? But if you're doing like fitness videos, you need to be in frame. Your whole body needs to be in frame. So you get to be really far away from your camera. So with that, if you don't have a zoom lens, if you're not going for the blurred effect, then what you want to focus on, the distance is going to be dictated by you in the frame. So you need to be horizontal and then you need to be wherever you want to be so that you're in frame. If you're doing a show with a guest, you and your guest should try to be in the same ratio, right? So not one person way up close like this and the other person way far back. Try to make yourself both the same. Good question. Sonia has a question. Good night, Peter. Good night, Peter. Good night. I hope you feel better. Okay, so Sonia says, I want to start with live Q&A for my YouTube channel, but I don't have any viewers right now. How to go about starting them? Shall I start with my set of questions? So here's what I always tell people, Sonia, when you're starting with Q&A is, so there are some live stream gurus and, experts out there that will say, you should not do live Q&A until you have a big audience, and you shouldn't do them until you've been streaming for a year, blah, 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 blah. I think that's all crap. I think you can do whatever you want. That's my thing. I'm like, you do what you want to do. You should know what best practices are. You should know what some good advice is, some do's and don'ts, but you can still do whatever you want. If there's a bunch of people saying, don't do this way, and you're like, that's the way I want to do it, and that's how I feel good, and that's what my audience wants, then you should do it that way. So live Q&A, how to get started with them when your audience is small is you want to be consistent with them. But you have to train your audience. You need to first train your audience to show up with you. So I would say that, like let's say you've never done any live videos or you've never done any videos, you shouldn't just start with live Q&A. Start by creating some videos and having some conversations. But then when it comes to live Q&A, when you're ready, you're definitely going to want to come to those live Q&As with some questions of your own that they either are asking or should be asking. And so you can kind of start and say, here's a question I get all the time. Use something like StreamYard, bring it up on screen, make it engaging, and then prompt them. Keep saying, what questions do you have about XYZ? What questions do you have about XYZ? Post it in the comments. You may not get a lot of questions at first, and that's fine. I didn't used to get a ton of questions. And as I said, anymore, there are days where I can stream. I'll be here for an hour and a half or 2 hours, and you guys are asking questions all day long. It depends on the topic. the relatability of the topic, and of course your audience. But you have to train your audience to know, hey, if you ask a question, I'm going to answer it, right? So like Billy knows, I mean, he's been here long enough. He knows he's going to ask questions and he's going to get answers. So definitely, that's kind of my take on it. But I do think that as you're getting started, you should come with your own questions. These are definitely the types of things that we cover in the boot camp. The whole first module is all about strategy, and there's all kinds of stuff we talk about when it comes to the best ways to conduct Q&As, have interviews, to have guests, all those things. Billy, let me clarify something because you were talking about the background. So for you, as far as the distance behind you, just try a few different things. Probably, I don't like it when the background is super close. I like to have a little bit of distance because even your iPhone probably is going to blur that out a little bit, which is going to create some depth. It's going to create depth. It's going to have a little bit of depth differentiation, which does make you look clearer on screen. So just play around with a couple different things. Try, but you also got to make it work. You also got to make it work for your environment. If you don't have a huge room, you're not going to be able to be really far away from your background. The ZV-1. So Sonia uses the Sony ZV-1. So does my friend Crystal. So that is an awesome camera. It's a fairly basic camera as far as what it does. And I don't think you can put any interchangeable lenses on it. I could be wrong. Maybe not. Maybe you can. But those are great cameras for live streaming. And they're coming out with the Sony ZV-10 or the Z10. And it's like apparently supposed to be the next best live streaming camera on the market. We'll see about that. That is actually funny. So Brad said he edited a video where he sent a friend a shirt by placing it in a 1990s bread box in the kitchen. Then on his end, he opened up his bread box and the shirt was in it. Bread box postal service. That's pretty cute. That's definitely creative. I love the creativity on that one. I like it. So a lot of Brad's live videos, he gets the comments later. And that can be the case too. Brad, you may try different timing. You might try a different time of day, which could be really interesting. And then also making sure you're scheduling it ahead of time and nurturing those people so they know to show up live. But the other thing is definitely make sure you're responding to all those comments if you're getting them after the fact. Sonia's getting questions in the comments of the videos she's posting. That's fantastic. Comments on videos on YouTube is huge. Like, that's awesome. That's really great. Make sure you respond to those comments. You can use those as really good ideas for, okay, this video, people ask tons of questions. Then do a live video and basically answer all those questions. That would be another way that you can do that too. Oh, okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, so CK says she has the ZV-1. The ZV-E10, thank you, is officially shipping today. It does have interchangeable lenses. I'll tell you what, man, I am trying to be really disciplined right now and not buy another camera. I mean, why would I need another camera? I could come up with some reasons. Oh, but I'm going to try not to. I do hear it's pretty awesome. I also hear, I think I've heard that there are a couple of little issues, but we'll see what happens. Let me see. Yes, CK says you could take those comments and create content based on those questions. That is a great idea. Yes. Farmer Brad, I guess what I struggle with is setting up the YouTube live stream and then when it's time to stream with my phone on location. So Farmer Brad, here's what you should use StreamYard. Honestly. So if you use StreamYard, you can schedule that broadcast. And then when you're out on location, go to your phone and go to StreamYard.com right there on your phone. And right inside, it's like the same thing. It's the exact same interface. It's just kind of small because it's on your phone. And then that's the way around the mobile thing. So to do live videos on YouTube with your mobile phone using the YouTube app, you have to have 1,000 subscribers before you can even unlock that feature. Right. And so I think it's 1,000. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 1,000 subscribers before you can unlock that feature. So, but you can go around that by using StreamYard. And so you can do the same thing. You can schedule it with StreamYard and then you can literally go right there inside the StreamYard, like .com, not an app. It's just the website. And then you can actually do it that way. So you could totally do that. And you can display comments and do all the awesome things that you probably want to do. So yeah, it's a good idea. Okay, sweet. Right. Seriously. I just like toys. They're like toys for me. I love them. I can't help myself, but I'm trying to get better. I'm only buying things I really need. All right, my friends, here's the deal. I'm going to say goodbye for today. As I said in the beginning of this stream, okay, the waitlist is active. It's ready for you. I would love to see any of you that are thinking about, you're ready to learn more about live video, how to actually build a strategy, how to stay consistent with it, how to create professional live videos, how to level up everything. My bootcamp is all about it. It will actually get you into action, and we will do those things. So if this is something that you've been thinking about or you've heard me talk about before and you're intrigued, then definitely get signed up on the wait list, because I will send you an exclusive invitation with an exclusive offer that nobody else is going to get. Again, it's no gimmicks, just opportunity, and you can opt out anytime. Okay. So that is opening. Enrollment does open next week on the 31st. That's next Tuesday. But get on that wait list so that you can get that exclusive invitation from me, because I would love for you to entertain this. If this is something that you're thinking about doing, like I said, you either want to get into live video, or you've dabbled in it, or you've been scared to dabble in it, this is something I would like for you to consider, because it's a lot of fun. This is the 4th rendition of the bootcamp I've done, and we're going to have fun this time as always, but I'm also tweaking it up a little bit because I always like to make a little bit of changes every time I do this. And then the other thing I wanted you guys to know is that Thursday, I definitely would like for you to join us at the StreamYard Level Up Summit. This is where we're going to have an amazing lineup of presenters. Gary Vaynerchuk is the keynote speaker. I am the co-EMC. So I will actually be hosting this event and welcoming our presenters and conducting Q&As with them. And it is live. Everything about this event is live. And so wish me freaking luck, because it's a virtual event. It's live. It's free, but holy crap, we'll see what happens, right? You never know what's going to happen. So, all right, everybody, until then, right? I will see you around. And as always, thank you for being here. I appreciate all of you guys so much. And I'll see you guys next Tuesday, maybe sometime before. All right. See you guys.